Well, a very good evening and welcome to another Ray White Canberra live stream auction. This time for the beautiful number 10 Leighton Street in Pearce. My name is Alec Brown and together with my colleague, Mr. Kane Walters, I'd like to first of all begin by extending my gratitude to our sellers for the immaculate job they've done in presenting this remarkable residence. It's great to have so many of you tuning in to our live stream, and to the interested buyers amongst you sitting at home, we do wish you the very best with your bidding. Now, throughout the entire marketing campaign, readily made available has been our contract of sale. It's a fairly standard ACT Law Society document which legally identifies the unexpired term of the lease for Block 17, Section 44 in the division of Pearce. The prescribed terms within, they are exactly as you expect. It's a cash and unconditional sale. There are no listed restrictions on the transfer of the title. We offer the property vacant possession. There have been no changes made to the extensive list of inclusions to remain with the home. GST, of course, it is not applicable to the price you pay. Settlement, well, that has been noted for 30 days, but we do have a 45-day variation in place, as well as a 5% deposit will be required to secure your purchase. Underpinning today's proceedings, of course, though, are the ACT terms and conditions of auction. They have been widely distributed. However, I will highlight a few of the more pertinent points. I'm the only one authorised to place any kind of bid or offer on behalf of our seller. If compelled to do so, it's not my preference. It will be a level that is well and truly below the reserve price, and I can only do this a maximum of just once per auction. I can decide the amount or the increment by which the bidding advances. Also may choose to refuse any bid. In the very unlikely event of a dispute or discrepancy, my role will be to adjudicate. I will be the sole arbiter. My decision will be final. Now, providing we are above the exceptionally realistic reserve price that has been set at the strike of the gavel and screaming of sold, the obligation, didn't get you there, Kane, I hope, the obligation to our fortuitous purchaser amongst you will be to immediately complete the contract. Of course, we will do that on your behalf, as well as pay the nominated deposit. Now, I will note, of course, registrations are, of course, a prerequisite, and all of our registered parties that has been cited and noted as well, with all paperwork compliant to, of course, meet those needs. Any other terms or conditions relating to our contract, I do take as being read and understood. Well, I've mentioned this a few times with our auctions before. If you are one of the lucky few who have had the opportunity to walk through this home in person, it probably comes as no surprise to really imagine what we're offering here is a truly exceptional offering, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for some, given that it's taken almost 20 years to get to this point to be offered for sale again. And you can really see why. As a family home in this location, with everything the home has to offer, not just in accommodation, but also in its provisions and renovations, what we're dealing with here is a long-term family proposition. A sprawling floor plan of 187 square metres is quite versatile. Aside from all those living spaces, it has that segregated master bedroom with its own private adult retreat and the ensuite as well to service it. Double garage with internal access. Wonderful updates inside and out. And really complementing what we have on offer is the block itself. 754 square metres in that elevated position, so close to the schools, framed by manicured gardens. It really is what we define as turnkey property. Simply move in and enjoy the lifestyle from day one. Unfortunately though, I think it's going to be a long time before we see this come onto the market again, because once you are here, the owners tell me it's hard to say goodbye. But it is with that, with a heavy heart, we say goodbye tonight and welcome a new owner. I call for your interest, your opening bids here for number 10 Leighton Street in Pearce. Where do we see it start? Where do we see it begin? You name me your number. Think about everything on offer here today, the variety of accommodation, the flexibility, of course, all the additions, the money that's gone into it as well. I call for opening bids and offers, something fair and reasonable. You name me your number, set the tone, set the agenda. This is your chance. See a number of conversations proceeding at the moment. I'll give you that very simple opportunity to really consider your position to start their way. Where do we go? What do we think?
Yep.
As they say, the first bid's always the hardest one, the one to tease out sometimes, isn't it?
Alec, $1 million over here.
$1 million with bidder number one. And I do thank you for your bid at $1 million now, and we're away. At $1 million is my opening bid and gambit, and we would have moved fairly swiftly with a 50, I would have thought, and go into $1,050,000 from here. But at $1 million neat is the current bid and offer. Do thank you for your interest, bidder number one, and I wish you the very best of luck with your purchasing endeavours here tonight. At $1 million is the fair play. It's 7 figures, and you'd expect that in a location like this. Wonderful neighbourhood. You can see all the money invested into the location, the neighbourhood, the renovations, the knockdown rebuilds. It really is all happening. A simple stroll up the street will get you onto the Mount Taylor Nature Reserve. Down the street, of course, aside from the local schools, you've got the excellent shopping precinct of Pearce, or a little bit further down the hill, and it's easier on the calves than coming home, is to get yourself into the Woden Valley as well. You can get right into the Westfield Town Centre with absolute ease. It's a tranquil location, wonderful position. At $1 million is my opening bid. I'll call it away for the want of further interest. As I say, my suggestion, my recommendation is to pop another 50 more on top. Can I say $1,050,000 on your behalf? I'll call it once at $1 million. The psychological footing being 7 figures. But it's certainly not a number that you are not, it's not unusual to see in Pearce. Of course, a coveted location. The views, the elevation, and all the wonderful recreation nearby. At $1 million going for the second time.
$1,020,000.
$1,020,000, and working well for it with bidder number one. At $1,020,000, I thank you for it. Inching yourself closer. At $1,020,000 again, my suggestion is to round me off at $1,050,000. Put yourself in the box seat now, but at $1,020,000, fairly bid and offered. At $1,020,000, plenty of groups through this exhibition, even through the private inspections, of course, which we now offer with all of our properties. Fair bit of media surrounding it as well. It's had very good interest, and you can see why. The effort that they've put in to a renovation like this, it's hard to beat. Ducted gas heating, evaporative cooling, all the mod cons, and most of those windows across the front and throughout the home, of course, being double glazed as well. Excellent energy efficiency rating for year-round livability. Double garage, the extra carport, the off-street parking, plus, of course, as I've said to you before, the neighbourhood, which is worth that and a lot more. So at $1,020,000, I'm fairly bid with bidder number one. I'd urge you, I'd employ you. Geez, I'd bid for you, but I'm not allowed to do that. Now is your time to step forward, your biggest and best. Make it yours, end the search now. At $1,020,000, we won't delay. First call at $1,020,000. Noting, of course, conditional interest that exists in the property. Time to step forward now, claim home ownership if you can. Second call at $1,020,000. This is where I need you to be absolutely certain you leave no stone unturned. Third, just note, another quick second there, I'll give you that quick opportunity to have a bit more of a discussion. $1,020,000 is our mark. We move northwards, I would have thought. Where do we go?
$1,040,000.
$1,040,000. Another 20 on top with bidder number one. Nice, working well for it. Thank you very much at $1,040,000. Auctioneer thanking you for your interest. Worth it though and a lot more. I would have thought at $1,040,000 now. By that logic, we move in 2060 would be the conditional interest that we'd search for next. Can we say $1,060,000 on your behalf? But at $1,040,000 with bidder number one right now. First call. It's that time to really reflect. Give consideration to not just what the location has to offer, but of course, the idea that you'll never have to do another bit of work. You can just move in and get the lifestyle from day one. It goes for the second time at $1,040,000. I need you to be absolutely certain. You can certainly look at the other sales in this area and bid with absolute confidence, knowing full well for everything that the home has to offer, you join a very lucky few. Third time, again, I'm just getting the moment's pause button. We just wait for a second whilst we have our conversations. Interest is strong. At $1,040,000 is our current bid, currently with bidder number one. And as we pause just to have that conversation, get you to reflect perhaps on what the market is doing, and from where we are standing, it has been extremely strong. Over the 11 auctions that we've had so far via this new platform, through the live stream, 7 under the hammer, 2, of course, suburb records, which have been very well publicised as well. The Canberra market certainly has a lot of resilience, a lot of strength yet, so you can be absolutely confident, as I say, with where we are here today. And it's not just what's happening tomorrow, you've got to think long term, 10, 20, 30 years. With a proposition like this, I dare say you are putting a step wrong when you look at $1,040,000 bid right now. I would have thought $1,160,000 on the rise would have been fair and reasonable. I can See, Kane is just having that discussion right now with our interested parties at $1,040,000. Noting yet again, of course, there is conditional interest in the property. Our preference, our motivation is to find our interest right here and now on the auction floor with those certain terms for both buyer and seller at $1,040,000 the bid. What do we think, Kane? I need to know. This is that moment. Have a bit of a chat to our interested parties. Bidder number one holds it right now at $1,040,000. Just think, rarely will you come across a floor plan so accommodating. The amount of storage in the home is phenomenal. And of course, a real added extra is the internal access with the garage. The architecture of the day, the movement here, $1,050,000. You get there at $1,050,000. The recommendation you take at $1,050,000 now. Let's see what we can do from here. I would have thought another 20. Stay strong with me, work well with me. Bidder number one at $1,050,000 now to be at the offer. At $1,050,000 current level of interest. And when you talk about interest, you've got to be thinking ear to ear, smile on the dial that interest rates are so low it makes absolute sense to go again. At $1,050,000 is our measure. At $1,050,000 current bid and offer, you can see Kane just having those conversations. I give you that moment of reflection. Of course, no one here aside from just us dealing with the auction. Everyone else is remote. Yourselves watching from home, the bidders likewise are in the comfort of their own home as well. Of course, giving them that opportunity to secure the family dream here and now. Number 10 Leighton Street. To recap, bidder number one has it right now at $1,050,000 in front. What do we think? Where is our next move? I would have thought just for the fact that the home has that versatility with the master bedroom, the wonderful separation from the spare rooms, and aside from the double glazing, all the added insulation that our owners have put into the home to make it as comfortable as possible. Considered extensions, the wonderful outdoor living spaces as well, the alfresco deck, the lush buffalo lawn at the back. Geez, I wish my lawn was looking as good as this one here, I promise you that. And of course, what else can I really say when you look at everything on offer here? Absolutely a wonderful chance in a wonderful location. $1,050,000. Thanks for hanging in there, folks. I appreciate your interest at $1,050,000 the call. Just allowing those final discussions, those final considerations. I know it is a big decision to make. One, though, that you will not have to make for a very, very long time. Many of the neighbours that we've met throughout the campaign, they have been long-term as well, really showing you that once you are in a spot like this, very rarely do they trade. At $1,050,000 is the current offer. It's giving our buyers that contemplation right now. The discussions continue. Hang tight. Meantime, of course, we do see that the Canberra market, as I said to you before, remains strong, remains resilient. Of course, our thoughts going out to everybody in our community. We do urge you to stay safe and hope you are all healthy. At $1,050,000 is our bid, just allowing the final moments of discussions to continue. $1,050,000 is the call. Wonderful solar aspect at the back too. It's been an absolute pleasure walking through this home at all times of day, but particularly in the afternoon as the sun is streaming into that family room. You can watch the kids at play in the backyard. Maybe the ideal renovation in the future is looking at even adding a pool potentially. Certainly it's something in my household that I'm being reminded about on a daily basis. It's just all the room here and plus still keeping plenty of room in the garden. $1,050,000 is the call. Hang tight, bear with me. Do appreciate your interest. Kane, how are we looking there? Need to know. This is that moment.
$1,060,000.
$1,060,000. Thanking you for it. Still moving in those tens at $1,060,000.
Very strong.
Hang tight, hang tight. I do appreciate your interest. Bidder number one at $1,060,000. See Kane just moving forward, having a bit of a discussion now between our buyer and seller. Massive decision. I get that. I really do appreciate it. At $1,060,000 is the bid. Very discreet from the street as well. Manicured gardens, just making sure we've got absolute privacy here. But I mean, as it is, it's really local traffic only that bother going up and down Leighton Street. There's really no other purpose otherwise. So it is a safe, family-friendly location indeed. But it's a very simple stroll down to the school. Kids have never got an excuse for being late here. I dare say they will be smarter for living in a location like this, hence the quality of the education nearby. At $1,060,000. Phone going back and forth right now. Bear with us. at $1,060,000 is the current offer. Another auction tonight, of course, at 6 p.m. for those of you interested in Crozier Circuit in Canberra. That one won't be too far away. Right now, we are at 10 Leighton Street, Pearce. For those of you joining in late to the stream, we're at $1,060,000 with bidder number one right now. Discussions are continuing. We are getting very close at $1,060,000. I'd urge you to consider your final positions now and what it is actually worth, not just in the market today, but what it is worth into the future. And the value of your enjoyment in a location like this as well. Hard to put a price on it, I dare say, but at $1,060,000, that is the current level right now. 1060 is the call. The opportunity to end the search, to simply put down roots for a very long time and reap the rewards of someone else's hard work. At $1,060,000, current bid and offer. Sleek contemporary kitchen, wonderful surfaces. You've got the stone there, you've got the glass finishes as well. Contemporary appliances, lots of storage, really does have it in spades. Huge laundry space, you've got the water deck, and I haven't even mentioned, of course, the solar that comes with it as well. All part of the package, all part of the inclusion right now. How are we looking, Kane? Give you that extra moment, thank you, at $1,060,000. Bear with me now. I can see that we are getting extremely close to $1,060,000 current offer. Only a few on the market in the location, and for good reason why, but almost impossible to compare it to anything else, especially when you consider the provisions, with the versatility of the floor plan, and as I mentioned, the privacy that a well-established garden like this can provide. Well noted that, of course, you can do a kitchen, a bathroom in a couple of weeks or months' time and get that instant gratification. A garden like this, well, look, it's not only going to cost you the money to establish, but it's going to take years of care and cultivation to get to the point to where we are. So you, of course, factor all of that in, really adding up to a quality family offering here at $1,060,000. I do appreciate you just hanging in there with us now. You can see Kane just in those moments of contemplation with our interested buyer and seller right now. 1060 with bidder number one right now. Thanks, Kane. So you just need that fraction of time now. I can certainly allow for it. It's not till 6 p.m. our next broadcast, so we can hang in there now. $1,060,000 the bid. Now, it'd almost be remiss of me if I didn't remark, of course, the quality of Rama's nearby. For those of you who are familiar with the landmark restaurant in Pearce Shops of Rama's, it is probably one of the best Fijian Indians you will ever find in your life. Just a remarkable cuisine, always busy, and at the moment you have the opportunity of excellent takeaway trade as well. $1,060,000, Morris just down the road as well. Number of schools, the amenities, public transport. See Kane just coming in right now. Just bear with me. Yes. How are we looking? $1,060,000 is the bid. Could be some movement now. Where do we go? What do we think? Kane, how are we looking?
$1,075,000.
$1,075,000. Well bid at $1,075,000. Auctioneer, yet again, thanking you for your interest now at $1,075,000 the call. At $1,075,000 we have, and working well for it now. Kane, yet again, back on the phone. It's back and forth like a game of tennis. Probably the only game of tennis you can watch at the moment, of course. Where I'm standing, it's not as interesting as Wimbledon, but I know Kane is working just as hard. At $1,075,000 is our offer. Bear with me, hang tight. At $1,075,000, working well at $1,075,000. $1,075,000 is our bid. Plenty of scope in the future just to absolute laze away the days outside. Enjoy that northerly orientation to the rear. Kane just in those discussions right now. Thank you. Okay, gotcha. One more moment. Hang tight. $1,075,000. To recap, of course, as I mentioned to you before, 11 of these live stream auctions since the other week when we have had to start, 7 of which already selling under the hammer, including 2 suburb records and a number of conditional offers moving forward. Huge amount of homes still hitting the market. Lots of buyer inquiries. For those of you amongst you wondering if the market is being resilient, I can certainly say at this stage from where we stand, there is a lot of confidence in the Canberra marketplace. But of course, as I've mentioned to you before, our thoughts do go out to the entire community as well. We're $1,075,000. We are here for 10 Leighton Street in Pearce. I'll call it away. Kane, I will need to know best and final instructions right now. First call at $1,075,000. Is there anything left? Have we exhausted all resources? This is that time to know you've given it your absolute all. Second call, Kane, I can see you just entering the fray. What are we thinking?
Another one.
$1,076,000. $1,076,000, and I thank you for it now. $1,076,000 now we have. Kane just again having a bit of a conversation with our seller at $1,076,000. I'm not going to dismiss your interest here and now. I very much appreciate it now at $1,076,000. Brick by brick is how they build them. It's how we bid for them if we must. It's all very important here. Huge decision to make. A life-changing event. At $1,076,000 is the current offer. $1,076,000 is the call. Bidder number 1. Been strong the whole option. I do thank you for your interest now at $1,076,000.
We're on the market, Alec.
Well, there we go, the breaking news at $1,076,000. It's fantastic news for bidder number 1. You've worked so hard for it. We reward you now in the light of it. I guess if there is no further bidding, I will give the opportunity. I'll call it away 3 times at $1,076,000. It is on the market and it sells. The gavel is in hand. Be at the ready now at $1,076,000. We call it. First time calling at $1,076,000 for number 10 Leighton Street, Pearce. It goes twice at $1,076,000 and selling. Third, final time. Are we absolutely sure? Are we certain? Are we positive? It sells. It sells. It is sold. Welcome home. Congratulations to our successful purchaser. Bidder number 1. You worked hard for it. You will be rewarded because this is a wonderful, wonderful family home. To our successful purchaser and seller, we do thank you for working with us and congratulations go all the way around. For the other people who have missed out, we will do our absolute best to find you another home just like this. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. If we have any other further questions, if we can assist, let us know. Otherwise, tune in at 6 o'clock. We auction 37 of 85 Crozier Circuit in Canberra. As I say, if we can help, let us know. Otherwise, stay safe. We'll see you soon.